How's it going, Teddy?
Living the dream, mate. Living the dream. How about yourself?
I'm doing alright. I've been thinking about text a lot.
Yeah, me too. Probably in two different ways, though.
Mm-hmm.
I am sick of manipulating strings already.
Just here, so it's more of a backing track.
As
That
opposed to
is.
something we're rapping over.
Look, man, my flow has always been silky smooth. At least that's what the doctor said. Anyway.
Oh, gross. Diarrhea jokes. Uden jokes. The best jokes.
Right. It's been a hell of a week.
It really has been. I think if I didn't have this to concentrate on this week, I probably would have yeeted myself off a building. Oh, it's been real boring. Lockdown continues to be locked down, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a real fucker.
We're making an MMO, so we don't need fun.
Soon we won't even need friends.
Woohoo! Final form, friendless alone, but with a functioning product.
Just hook it up to the GP3. Let it go.
Just fucking... What we should do is we should just create a text parser that just requests text for the GP3, and we'll just say, oh, we made this.
Nice.
Would make millions, mate. Millions.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I should do is just slowly walk you through everything that I've done this week.
Absolutely.
So really the bulk of the week has just been setting up the underlying infrastructure we need, both in terms of code and in servers. So obviously we've got a server now that's like it's got like a SSL enabled and shit, so like you can HTTPS it, and there's a reverse proxy there as well. So like any requests that go to the server, like sort of get swallowed and like yeeted off to the app, which is hosted on localhost along with the database. So like there's no any crazy shit like direct can like internet hook up to the database and all that crap. So I think we've kind of covered our bases as far as like basic security goes.
Yeah.
And I've set .NET up and stuff, so the app actually runs on the server and stuff. So that sort of stuff's kind of over for the moment. And I've focused a lot of time as well on setting up all the tech stuff we're going to need underneath to actually make this run. So like I set up the web sockets stuff, so there can be like a web sockets. So basically, like for the purposes of a dev diary, like most mods use Telnet, which is like a really old-fashioned insecure protocol for sending data. We're not doing that. We're using WebSockets, which are basically just magic. It's basically just a constant open connection both ways. Like we can send stuff to a browser, and the browser can send stuff to us. And like the connection doesn't die until you leave or like manually close it. So it's like a really good technology to use for like online games. So I've got that set up. And I've got that working, or WSS, which is like the secure version of WebSockets. So I think that means that everything we send and receive is encrypted at the point that it leaves the client. So
nice.
Theoretically, we could do some like we could have like sensitive data pass through the connection, even though like that's handled by regular ASP. So on top of the WebSocket shit, I've also set up just a bog standard ASP.NET app, and like that's what we're using for like the website and for the builder, because the builder doesn't really need like constant communication, even though like I'm told that's how mods normally do it. So kind of like a mod builder would connect to the game, and like he would just say like a bunch more commands like add rooms and stuff that normal users wouldn't have. Whereas like we set it up so it's like two completely separate sides. Mm-hmm. Like eventually, once I've got this working properly, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a table in our database that stores temporary stuff, and then like once you hit a button, it'll copy those things you've added across to the main, and that way like we can test stuff in isolation.
Yeah.
How that's actually gonna work, I don't know. Whether or not that's a better idea than just having a separate test database, I don't know. Like either way, probably the deployment will eventually be automated. So in terms of like the actual app, I'll show you what I've got. So there's quite a bit of like structure here, but in terms of functionality, it's quite light just now. Like over the next couple of weeks, it'll be fleshed out quite a lot. So let me just yeet this browser window over here.
There we go.
So, for the actual playing inside, like you can create characters. So like, let's create a character called Teddy 2. Like for there you can, the better one. Two was for Teddy found his stride. 3 was just maybe a bit much, to be honest.
The Molyneux problem. Gotcha.
Yep. So you can click play and it will take you to the game client. For here, it will open a WebSocket connection to the server. So because the game isn't really a game yet, the only things I've really implemented are communication stuff. So you can talk in global chat, as you can see there. And also there's new additions here that you haven't seen as well. So like anything you type in here gets like obviously reflected in the area, and like every response now gets logged in the main area. So like it'll dump it as well into like the relevant section. But like I like the idea that those sections are kind of just like little trackers and stuff. Yeah. So like kind of maybe like there'll be some things we probably didn't do it for. Like maybe like if you type inventory or something, right? Like it's going to send you like a text representation of everything in your inventory. It's just going to update this panel. Yeah. I guess that's like getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. I've also implemented direct messaging, so you can whisper to someone. Like I can't remember if I made it. If you could whisper yourself, let's see. So
yeah,
whisper,
we tried breaking that last night.
Hello. Yeah, so you kind of whisper to yourself. I think it's probably crashed. Oh no, I've actually got a breakpoint set up. Yeah, you kind of whisper to yourself like it falls over. Like but trust me when I say that it works. Like I've been testing it using Firefox and Firefox Developer. So like again, 2 open WebSocket connections and like passing messages between them. And I also very briefly tested it live on the server. But like I haven't got like admin security set up yet. So like well, obviously there's like security. Like you need an account to log in. But like if you register, you can just see everything. So I need to set up a system for like there's like maybe email addresses that it's probably gonna be like a config file that's got a list of email addresses.
Yeah.
And those users will get access to the builder and shit.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so we've got a chat that goes globally. We've got whispers, like so direct messages between users.
Mm-hmm.
And I've put the bones, our local room communication in because we've got a concept of rooms now. But it still doesn't work yet because I haven't hooked it up yet. So the biggest thing I've done in the last couple of days is this map in the bottom left-hand corner. So it's this one. So like you can see that there's an array defined here, our rooms. So like it's just a static test array basically. A bunch of rooms that have got exits in every possible direction. And as you can see, it renders out correctly. So pretty simple so far, but it centers the view on the room that you're currently in. Like the arrows for like representing the exits are actually like proper, like they go where they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And it redraws insanely quickly.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I think all those bases are covered. I'll show you like a really basic live version of one of these in like 5 minutes when we go across to the builder, which I guess will be more relevant to you. But yeah, that's entirely drawn in Canvas, so it's just drawn with code. Like it turned out to maybe as complicated as I thought it was going to be. Like it turns out this kind of thing is actually quite simple. You just kind of need to read the manual. Okay, there's obviously still issues in that you can like fuck off.
You can just leave.
There'll be like a bunch of like validation checks on like whether you can leave a room in a specific direction.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking just now, fit it'll be is like we locally store your coordinates, and then when you move in a direction, the server checks for the room there, moves you into it, and then sends the response. And then those local variables get changed to the new coordinates, and then we redraw the map. And then that way, like it's really, really simple to like control whether a user can go into a specific room or not.
Yeah.
Like everything else in the UI, this redraws correctly, so you can make the map as big or small as you want, and it'll always redraw correctly, and it'll always center the user.
Yeah, I tried pretty hard to break that and couldn't.
Yeah, like
Nice.
it's one of the coolest things we've got on the app just now. I think like that goes for like all components as well. I've been quite careful that nothing breaks. Like the only thing that falls apart is the chat. Like the tabs can kind of go out of fuck, but I'm sure that's probably just a CSS error.
And they do
fix
come
that
back
sometime
is the
down the
important
road.
bit.
Yeah. So they're not lost or anything. Like one thing that was fucking us up earlier was like if you flick between tabs, like it was reloading the entire view. It doesn't do that anymore either.
Good.
So that's the client for now. Like once I've got done adding rooms in the builder, I'll start adding them in the client, and then we'll be at a point where like there will actually be like the ability to host a world that you can navigate around.
Yeah.
So like once that's in, that's where the game really begins.
Sure.
So we've also got a builder, right? Now this is an extreme work in progress. I've only been playing a room with this for like the last 4 or 5 hours. So excuse how it looks. But it's gonna be the same idea. So you'll see on this left side you've got 2 panels, right? The first one is a list of areas, and the second one is a map of that area, right? So you'll see I've already created an area here called Test Area 1, right? You can delete it, but you shouldn't. You can edit it, which just changes its name and description right now, but there'll be more stuff later, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you've got a load button, right? So if you click the load button, that loads that area into the browser, right? So if I click that, you can see that it's loaded in the map, right? And just now the map's only got 1 room because I haven't actually put room validation in yet.
Yeah.
But it's using the same map as the client does. So once there is more stuff there, I'm hoping that it will just automatically generate a sort of a square tile map.
Yeah.
So this is how we're going to create rooms, right? So this room has already been created, so we don't need to do anything here, right? Let's say we wanted to create a room that moved to the east, right? You would tap right on the keyboard and move into that next square. And you'll see that it's updated the coordinates up here of the room you're in.
Yeah.
You would type in the room name, you would type in the description, you would hit save, and then it would refresh the map with a new room added. Like underneath this as well, there will be like a bunch of checkboxes for exits you want.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's like the basics of how to create a room.
That's like
From there, like Foot will end up probably doing, I think, is saying like tabs for all the different things. So like all this shit will be under like the basics tab. And then there'll be like an NPCs, like can maybe like things you can interact with in the room, yada yada. So it'll be pretty simple to navigate, I think, even when the app itself starts to get super crazy.
Oh, this is nice. I am a fan.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, like there's a lot to be done in terms of like making it pretty, but the sort of raw skeleton is starting to form. Like I think the only downside of the setup right now is that like if we created a bunch of rooms here, they'd be immediately reflected in the actual game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need some sort of staging system. A really simple one would just to add a column to everything, like in the base model that's just like public bool live.
Yeah.
And by default it's 0. And then like maybe like I'll create like a little tool that you can run on the server that just flicks whatever you want across the live. So like we can release things in blocks and stuff.
You would have to do some stuff. You would have to kick people out and stuff like that potentially.
Yeah, it'll be really easy to do like a server shutdown command. Like,
yeah.
In fact, that would probably take like 10 minutes. I might actually just do that tonight. Like, just type shutdown on the server command prompt app.
Yeah.
And then it'll just send messages like every second, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody gets kicked.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, that's 1 week's progress.
It's looking good.
So face scratch to a relatively stable, simple prototype in about 7 days.
I'm gonna have to edit out that email address.
Oh yeah, shit. Lol.
You're not exposing your personal IP, so that's fine.
I'm gonna... Hell yeah, fuck, of course. Like, everything just runs on localhost or IIS Express, so...
Yeah.
If I was running, like, full fat IIS, I think it would expose my computer name.
That's not that bad.
I don't think there's anything you can do with that, right? Unless you've got the IP.
Unless you were on the same domain.
Yeah.
Or had the IP.
So,
Cool.
show me what you got. Tell me how this little basic fucking town is going to be.
Well, I keep changing my mind on how I'm going to write it, so it's a whip at the moment, as is everything else. Oh, that's OBS. That is not Notepad++. Here's Notepad. At the moment, look at that. Never there. At the moment, most of what I've got for the town is conversations.
Okay.
And we've been talking about moving conversations out of the room system.
Yeah.
So
like
yeah.
Yeah.
So an early problem I had was realizing, oh, in a mud you can't tell which way someone's going by default. And like that would be nice to have at some point, but early on we don't have that. So I can't write you walk down the hill. I have to write the hill is blank.
Yeah.
Which took a little bit of working around to get used to. I think it's a relatively flavorful little thing. There's a bit down here where I've talked about food, which I'm pretty into. A fish roll. That sounds pretty good.
It's like a good opportunity for like a shop or something in that.
Yeah, that's kind of why that's there.
Yeah.
Old man has stuff. So the way I've been trying to format this text is non-final. In fact, I probably won't ever have to really write this out like this once you've got the builder in. I'll be able to write stuff into the builder direct.
Yeah.
I can't think of a reason I wouldn't do that for most
God,
stuff.
if you thought about like for the programming structure for like representing conversations with branching trees and shit's gonna look like.
Yeah, I've thought about it and decided it's your problem. No, we're gonna have to work on that.
Oh, here's Volp.
Hey, subscribe. He's
Dude,
not
this
asleep.
big subscribe boy.
He probably should be asleep. Wait, hang on. What? Where did what that? What?
What is that? Is
that
hyperhex something we added?
No, that is a hyperspace thing? Maybe? I don't know what that is. Hello. Nice work clicking that button for 10 months in a row, man. I would have forgotten. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
I too go burr.
Brr.
Yeah, so we're getting there. This is taking some getting used to.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's like a totally different style of writing.
Yeah. It's very prescriptive, and there's things I have to be careful not to say. Oh, that's a lot of hex go bar. I've just realized I don't have a chat window on this. That's no bad. Oh well. But some tone stuff in here.
Yeah.
She sings a sweet and lilting tune about a ring marked by a rune. The waves rush by as the tide starts its rise. Between each verse, you can hear her sighs. Like a little bit of lyric-y poetry stuff in there.
Yeah, that's dope.
A bit of
like just for reading it, like there's chances to implement quite a few mechanics here.
Yeah, I'm trying to write every scenario I can think of into this tiny little town.
Yeah.
Like for example, we've got a check here. Like, do you have something to set this boat on fire with?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. Like a little space that there's a lot of interactivity in, like makes it easier to test, and hopefully like these systems can just be expanded outwards.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Even if some of the implementations to start with are quite hacky.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that idea I had earlier about like maybe every so often just taking a day to like sort of restructure code and like think about how things are being processed and stuff is a good idea. It's probably something I'm going to do every couple of weeks, I think. Like tightening up your hacks and stuff. Especially considering that like a lot of the like MVC stuff I've done with the builder has just been like sort of seat of your pants, fly by night. Let's get this done in 20 minutes, kind of shit. So like a lot of it's like unvalidated and stuff right now.
For sure.
It's kind of like sidestepping the board and shit, so I can see like the actual mechanics appear in the game.
Yeah, so it's, I think once I've got the tools in hand, I'll find it easier to build something more concrete. At the moment, all we've got is this little fishing village called Feltonfold.
Yeah, that's all we need though, like
Yeah.
a village that's got like a handful of houses in it.
Yeah.
And like maybe like a main road or something and a little square. Like that's fine. Like everything we need can just be squeezed into that. Like NPCs, shops, later on maybe even a fight. Like mechanics like searching and shit. Like if we've got a place for like more than one player can sit, like again like we can like do like stuff like emotes and shit. Like local chat, all that kind of jazz.
Speaking of jazz, I'm gonna skip the song that's just Monster Hunter cat noise.
It's perfect.
Exactly what we need right now. Just to show the evolution of this, like this is the first version of this thing I wrote. It's very flavorful, but it's completely worthless for a mud.
Yeah.
Like,
because it actually talks about actions you're doing and stuff.
Yeah, we talk about directions. Like, originally I was thinking we would put the directions into the pros, but as you say, it's probably better to allow the player to explore more.
Yeah.
There is no music. I think that's an interesting point. There's music when we're looking at Teddy's screen, but that's not a big deal.
That's really weird.
It's the way I've got the groups.
No, okay.
And it's probably quick. That. There we go. This is why we do audio checks. Oh wait, there was no one around. So like this whole bit here, you can see a shack, you can smell fried fish in a window, in a small shed adjoining to the largest house. Turns into, like, how much of this is about that? All of this, and this isn't done.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even close to done. Like, there's so many things I bring up here that you would want to explore. Well, for a start, these items. Like, you would have options for every single item.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, so like, I think some mods do this automatic thing for like, it'll generate pros based on items that exist in the room. Like, I think it's probably better, right, if when we're building these rooms, we do something like, we add the items and you can see them in our little item container on the top of the screen, but they're also referenced in the pros just manually. It's like figure in here, like barrels and crabbing pots are stacked around the door, which sits ajar. And again, that's better than like you can like just saying like outside the shack, blah blah blah.
Pots and door.
Yeah, like kind of the pros, I guess, really is if it makes a mod, like it's like flavor and like background. Again, like the depth of the lore is like pointless. Like if the pros that exposes it sucks. Yeah. It's like I think this is a good idea you've got going here.
Yeah.
Like maybe actually send me this file and I'll like dump it into the test program, and then I'll maybe send you a few screenshots of what it looks like when the pros is actually showing.
Yeah, that's the plan. This file's in our directory.
Okay, dope. I'll probably grab it tomorrow when I start fucking around. We're actually getting the rooms in and out.
Sounds good. Speaking of sounds good, let's change the color on this to something more exciting, because this is exciting new stuff.
It's the feature creep stream.
It's the ideas log. So this is going to be a completely unordered mess, because it's literally just going to be me typing in stuff as we come up with it.
Yeah, but this
things
is
we
like
talked about were Like, we're gonna have a combat, so like, we can start even more basic. Separate combat screen. Skills can be used inside and out of combat. You can learn everything, but you can only access what you have on hand. So what we're talking about there is sort of a D&D spell slots sort of thing.
Mhm.
Like, you can be the master of everything. Like, you can know all the thief skills or whatever. But if you've taken a bunch of magic stuff, that's what you've got on you at the time.
Yeah, you kind of got access to your full range of abilities.
Yeah,
In the
sort of a way
combat.
to keep things balanced.
You know, if it was an absolutely phenomenal system, was
Mhm.
the Shroud of the Avatar one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the cards. I thought that was great. It's so clever.
It was clever, it was really poorly explained.
Yeah, it was really badly explained. Like, we didn't even grok it until a community member came in and was like, yo, this is actually what's happening here.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was dope. Like, I'm not suggesting we do that. I think this one's better because it, like, actually forces you to actually think about your build and stuff.
Yeah. Do I?
But it also does mean that, like, every player can be a generalist. So, like, if you've played the game for like 1,000 hours, you've probably got almost everything.
Yeah.
And, like, it means you can slip into different groups and stuff based on the roles that are required.
Yeah, it means you can decide, I want to be this now.
Yeah.
As opposed to, so this is sort
And
of
an obvious one that, like, yeah, this is what the combat's going to look
a
like.
quick mock-up, but like, you might have 50 skills, but you can only take 5 of them into battle with you. Such as dog, zombie, poison, and fish.
Just throw a fucking fish at someone.
Yeah, why not?
It's lethal.
1% crit chance. Just kills. Yeah, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, so, like, I like games for, like, skills level up with use. I didn't like how Mace Mod to a system where, like, you level up via experience gained and then, like, you put your level ups into skills.
Yeah.
Like, and everything you do in the game should generate experience and, like, add to your skills in some way.
Yeah. That's almost a subset of this bit, which is like level by doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is more of a quest-based version of that. Like, if you want to learn ice magic, go to the place where the ice is and do quests, and you might unlock things that are relevant to ice magic.
Yeah.
But you're saying also, doing ice magic should make you better at ice magic.
Definitely, yeah. I think that the most obvious thing there is, like, life skills, so, like, kind of like carpentry and, like, whatever else, further life
We both
skills.
went to
we
wood.
decide to have. Yeah, I know, it's weird, isn't it? Like, I always go to wood
improves
when
the
I think
lumberjack
about
skill. Yeah.
I think about chopping wood and RuneScape when I think about this.
I think about people lighting fires all over the main square. Gotta get that campfire skill up for some reason. I forget why you even do that. I don't know why RuneScape was listed on that list of mods, but it was weird. Did it used to be a mod?
RuneScape started life as a mod, yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Give that a wee Google. There's actually some screenshots, I think. I mean, technically, like, all MMOs are mods, kind of.
Yeah, but mud.
Muddy mod.
Devious mud.
That's the one.
That's visual, that's not a mud.
It's a G mod.
Yeah. Ooh, that looks like text.
That looks crappy.
That looks incredible.
God, remember when you get away with websites looking like that?
I mean, we're going to talk about aesthetics at some point. Yeah, it's something. I'm gonna go ahead and say that fandom is the worst thing to happen to the internet.
It's absolute cancer. Yeah, I
They're
really
all
like this
they're
website.
all crap. They're all so bad as wikis. Although, I guess they're not as bad as the Fextra Life wikis, which actively tank your frame rate. They've got so many
Fucking
videos
hell.
and ads running on them.
Yeah, I hate when you go to like fandom on a phone and you get the big video at the top.
Yeah.
Fuck off! I'm just trying to read random 40k lore, even though I've never played 40k. Leave me alone.
Here's what the Horus Heresy is.
This is how FTL works. By the way, they go through hell.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like 40k lore. It's really interesting. It's too bad the game's kind of boring. Mind you, I am literally building a mod in my spare time, so
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't
know,
get to
yeah.
you don't get to speak.
yeah, I don't get to judge other people's taste in games now.
Spice Marine.
If we came up with a bunch of random skill branches,
Elaborate.
so like for
Oh,
kind
just
of
like
life skills,
things we think should be in as skills.
yeah.
Well, okay. There's some easy headers. Magic, crafting, martial prowess, I guess, is what I would call it.
But we just go for martial.
Martial, sure. Ah, the three things, the three flavors. There's definitely
Magic,
more.
Martial. I mean, that is kind of it, isn't it? Like, that covers
Yes,
pretty much everything. Is crafting and gathering separate?
No.
No, we keep all that together.
Yeah.
So,
So
like, probably cutting down a tree and, like, crafting a wooden chair probably give you experience in the same things.
yeah,
Yeah,
just call it carpenter tree. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
It also allows you to make low-budget horror movies and synth albums.
Armorer,
Smith.
Smith, yeah. Yeah, weapons and armor should come under the same tree. It just keeps it simple.
Arcanist? It's like someone who makes magic-y shit.
Yep.
But also alchemist?
Do you want to hate alchemist and jeweler?
Jeweler. Is our magic about jewels?
Maybe not. No. Maybe an arcanist is somebody that enchants items.
Enchants things and makes like scrolls and stuff like that, maybe?
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
I would say a jeweler is a variant of a smith.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite game, Lord of the Rings Online.
I quite like the idea of having like a really in-depth ring system.
So a sub of the jeweler would be the... Of the smith would be the jeweler.
Maybe not. Maybe just it's its own separate tree.
What I like about doing sub ones is they can actually be combinations. So a jeweler is an arcanist smith. That makes sense?
Yeah. Maybe these are like... Maybe there could be like specialized trees that you can only get when you've got a certain amount of points in 2 different branches. So like to unlock the jeweler tree, you need a certain amount in smith and a certain amount in arcanist.
Yeah, you don't walk out of blacksmithing college and start making gold rings.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? Like, you would need to be
Yeah,
knowledgeable in both sides.
yeah. The reason I was putting subclasses under smith is that you could then do weaponsmith, armorer. Potentially.
But should these be separate trees, though? I guess they should be, right?
Maybe. For example, does being good at swinging a sword make you better at making swords?
Probably not.
No.
But it might have like bonuses for the same skills. Like, if you're strong, you're going to be better in a fight. You're also probably going to be a better blacksmith, right?
Is this a game with stats?
Oh, definitely, yeah. There's
Yes,
going to be numbers
okay.
in this game.
This isn't a game that just uses a skill table. Like, oh, what's it called? Stars without number.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that's stats. I think maybe it does, actually. Oh, well. Yeah,
I'll list the
unindex
stats up the
these.
top.
Yeah, we'll do skills and stats. They're different things. So, what are stats?
Strength, dexterity, intelligence.
So vanilla.
Yeah, I mean it's a cliche for a reason, right? I don't know whether it'd be a charisma tree. I hate that. Charisma should be tied to you as a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wits.
What does that do?
It sort of takes the place of a charisma tree for things that other games would have you roll charisma for. For example, yeah, no. I guess a witty person would be, someone with high wits would be good at seeing traps and stuff like that. Like street smarts.
Sounds like a mixture of intelligence and dexterity.
Yeah.
Good names normally, hey? Stuff like Constitution.
Well, what does Well, it has special, right?
Yeah.
Carpenter. That's my favorite stat. Endurance?
Yeah.
I guess I'm pitching wits as perception, basically.
Okay, yeah, we'll go for perception then.
But do we want to be doing trap checks and stuff like that? Is that fun?
Kinda annoys me when that's in games, but I guess it's there for a reason, right? But then, like, I don't know when there would be mechanics where it's like, oh, you failed this random roll, so this thing that can 1D you just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, maybe in raids or something, but otherwise, no. Is a strong person a healthy person?
I would say so, yeah. Like, you kind of get swole with it being, like, quite rugged, right?
Yeah, it depends. Most bodybuilders
Thought
will
about a
fall
theme
over.
song. It's a text MMO, bro. The theme song is silence. Yeah, come on, now, let's listen to this then.
I'll let you screen it while I clean this up a bit.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, sit down.
Nope.
No, I can't do it. I can't get through the whole thing.
No,
I gave up
not
like
doing
15
that.
seconds.
Not doing
Yep,
that.
that's
Nope.
all for me.
Strength, dex, and... Yeah, but you're broken. Right.
We could just leave it. It's strength dex.
Okay. That's all.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh
Please
no,
don't.
please don't.
I'll revoke your privileges if you do that. What does Dark Souls have? It does have strength, it does have dex, it does have intelligence, it has faith, which I don't like. It has resistance. It has memory.
What
But
does
I think-
memory do?
Memory is how many spells you can slot.
Okay.
But I think we should not have that be a stat.
Yeah, I think you're right. We definitely shouldn't have that as a stat.
Yeah, just keep the max at like a set number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If like we renamed strength, dexterity, and intelligence into like mere general categories, and like they covered a bunch of different things.
Oh, wisdom? Wisdom's not intelligence.
Savvy is great. I love it. Might,
Yeah.
cunning, and savvy.
That's just us being different for the sake of it, though, right?
Kind of. I really like that. That's dope.
It kind of works with our slightly. We need to talk about how high or low this fantasy is, but with the setting that we're borrowing from the other thing, it kind of works.
Yeah, I think it does as well. Nah, cunning and savvy are different, right? Like,
Yeah, they are.
you can be like, you can be savvy, but like be quite boring, right?
I don't love flexible, but I do agree that cunning is not necessarily the thing.
Well, we'll go for flexibility.
Oh, it just feels wrong to me. There's a better word for this. Oh, it's dexterity. Oops.
Accuracy,
Nah, nimbleness.
nimbleness. Nimbleness is good. Yeah, I like that.
Athleticism isn't the ability to pick a lock, though.
Yeah,
Not-
nimbleness is
We're
the-
not putting lock picking in.
like might works because like a mighty person has to be both physically strong and like physically resilient.
Yeah.
Like a power lifter is very strong, but like name mighty. Like Conan the Barbarian would kill like a big cunt twice the size of him because he's now got the endurance, right?
Yeah.
So like might encompasses all those things. Like nimbleness works because like a nimble person is both fast and accurate.
Yeah.
So like a
Spry.
nimble fencer will win.
Spry?
I'm
not using the word- I'm not-
like
Yeah. I'm not using the word lissom. Sorry.
leafness.
Lithe? Yeah. I'm not calling it skill when we've got a menu that says skills on it.
I really like nimbleness. I think that's the best one.
I don't know if it's a real word.
It must be, right? Nimble's a word.
Also, why is the Mimi Yakuza song playing? Oh, because it's a Sega song. And
Yep. The quality of being nimble.
I like this song.
Oh, finesse.
Yeah, finesse isn't bad.
Finesse is very good. Oh, I like deftness as well. Deftness is really nice.
Deftness isn't bad. Is Usain Bolt deft or high in finesse?
Is
he might be. I
Usain
don't
Bolt
know,
maybe
man.
strong?
Is he a mighty runner?
He is definitely a mighty runner.
Is he a savvy runner?
No,
No, because
Before
he
he
made all
broke
those
world
deals
record,
with
he
Richard
had-
Branson.
he had chicken nuggets for breakfast the day he broke the Olympic world record. He's definitely not savvy.
It's protein, it worked.
Deftness is actually the way.
Deft isn't bad. Yeah, deftness isn't bad. It's. I'm gonna get sick of saying deftness, I think, is the problem with it, but we'll keep it for just now. What were our runners? Nimbleness.
Let's just lock it into deftness.
You think? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I wish you could keep a log of the history of a Notepad++ file.
You could use Git for it.
I would have to save constantly. Like I probably have previous versions turned on in Windows, but that means saving constantly.
Okay, might, deftness, savvy.
Okay. Is a savvy person a wizard? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so, yeah. Savvy's like a mixture of your wisdom, your intelligence, like your planning abilities, all that sort of shit.
Yeah. What's Dungeon World? Dungeon World's actually kind of a bad example. Dungeon World is trying to be... It's trying to ape Dungeons and Dragons without being it. This website is bad. You seem to be offline. That's not good. We're not dropping anything.
Yeah, I see it.
Weird. Oh. Good thing no one's watching this, so they'd be able to break into our OBS slot ninja because there's a password on it. Magic is kind of also a world building problem. But
yeah.
And we're gonna have to go back to crafting, definitely. But
so do we want to like split it by like element, or do we want to split it by like school, like how the Elder Scrolls does it?
See, I don't want to type cryomancer because cryomancer sounds really bad, but pyromancer sounds cool.
It does.
Tempest. And then we would use a different word for fire. Good thought. You are maybe quite far behind. I don't know. So like Sage would be healing and mysticism.
Yeah.
Tempest would be lightning and cold and rain and storms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What else is like fire?
Well, I mean, like, we could have like a class, we could have like a magic branch called like kineticism or something. Like the ability to like fuck with like heat. And
yeah.
Pressure. Shit like that.
Yeah. Potentially.
Like maybe like a tempest can manipulate water, a kineticist can manipulate forces, we'll say.
Kineticist. Kineticist and deftness. Words.
Can you do a thesaurus search for physical?
Yeah, sure.
And we can maybe find some cool word for this.
Environmental, natural, corporeal.
A substantialist. Oh, a somaticist.
That's a different thing. Yeah. Immaterial.
It'd be pretty cool to have a branch of magic. Like the people that use it are materialists.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Could a mage of blaze heat there enough to cause a thunderstorm?
No.
I think Lee's been watching Richard Bartle videos too much.
I think that might be the case, yeah. Or too much. Oops, I turned into a slime. All the monster people have titties now. What? I had problems with that show, but it was funny. Problems.
It's really good. It's really good fun.
Yeah. Actual true. So this is absolute, confirmed, definite, honest to God. No.
That's what I am, mate. Hardest. A substantialist. Kosher.
Yeah, but not technically accurate. Since heat in the air causes thunder. I mean, it's the clash of cold and heat. that causes thunder, right? It's the difference in pressure. That's why we got the horrendous rain followed by, or the heat followed by the horrendous rain with all the thunder.
Mm-hmm.
High and low pressure, flashing, animal, bodily. Here's your somatic again. Yeah.
Somaticist is pretty dope.
Corporealist?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Corporealism?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Just
Is that what is that? Is that telekinesis? Is that transmutation as well? Is that like making things harder or softer?
I think for now we'll say like it's the ability to manipulate like pressure. And what else did I say?
Somaticist, right? Oh, you were talking about
I mean, in like the forces that this branch manipulates.
yeah, like heat and stuff like that.
Yeah. So heat and pressure.
We got three very different things here. Like Sage is
Healing.
non-science. Tempest is slightly science, and oh, you can swap things. Oh, that's slick.
Cool. I never knew
Notepad
you could
plus
do
plus
that,
is really good. And corporeal is almost natural philosophy, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Which is maybe a way we could write the practitioners of each school.
Yeah, like if there's like sort of distinct philosophical backgrounds for like the research that went into discovering these different schools of magic, you could write really distinct characters based on them.
Yeah. Equivalent exchange. Yeah, you can put your brother in a suit of armor. When it comes to magical archetypes, we've hit like classic healing. We've hit sort of classic lightning, ice, stuff like that. We've hit fire and like telekinesis stuff, I guess.
Yep.
Shapeshifting? Turning into animals, potentially?
Maybe.
Maybe. I can see that being fun, but also it's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if I was being a 90s game dev, I would say, oh, well, the next one's obviously temporal magic, but we're not doing time stuff.
Oh god, no, 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 no.
Refer the game to the last turn. We need more magic, because magic's cool.
I mean,
What
there is
does-
technically like 5 branches there, right?
Yeah. Well, 3 at the moment. In the general sense. Ahem?
Yeah.
What would we call what Gandalf does? Is that a mix of Sage and Tempest magic?
No, because like Gandalf's magic is like born of miracles.
Yeah. Fire, water, lightning. We don't really have I guess you could put water under Sage, like healing waters. Or rain under Tempest. Yeah, we don't really have evil stuff. Like, occult is not the thing, but it gets across what I'm trying to get across.
Like dark magic.
But is it even dark? Oh, is it actually evil to... Yeah, okay. Almost like interpersonal magic. Like, in a way, what a vampire does is sort of similar to a curse, right? It's like curses and hexes and personal things.
It's like a branch of magic for fucking other players, basically.
Well, not even that. NPCs and, well, kind of don't want people fighting NPCs that aren't designed to be fought.
Yeah.
Oh, the village crier's dead again. He's back now.
For the 800th time this hour.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it turns out he gives XP and a 1% chance to drop a town crier's bell. I like those 4.
Yeah, I do as well. I like the sound of a cult.
Nature green, like the green, always comes under sage. So like,
Yeah, I would say that's a sage. Yeah.
forest magic, healing magic. Like the biggest leap we've made is this corporeal one, but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What else is sage?
Like maybe like a
protection?
sage from buffs. Yeah, protection magic.
Those are 3. Tempest would be like
Thunder.
lightning.
Ice
Come on,
and
it's
water.
thunder. Oh, I made a loud noise. Very scary.
Oh yeah, sorry. Womp womp.
Lightning magic. Ice magic.
Ice and magic.
Ice magic! Like... watery stuff. Flight, air. Oh god, flight. Like, it's the ultimate power fantasy that it breaks so much.
Yeah, let's snipe it flight in the game.
Yet.
Yet.
I mean, we've got flight in the game at the moment. You can go anywhere.
Yeah, you can even leave the game if you want.
I tire of this reality. Giraffe head explodes.
A great meme.
A good meme.
A great meme. I audibly laughed, which is more than I can say for Mace memes.
Physicality?
Yeah, like physical magic. Like the ability to
Yeah.
move things to like a different distance.
Like, these use storm instead of storm magic. But that's watery stuff.
Yeah, lightning makes sense because it's just like electricity, right?
Yeah.
Could a tempest kill themselves by covering themselves with water and then zapping themselves?
All Tempest gear is made of copper. Wear the full set to die.
Tempests
me.
have got to wear fingerless gloves.
That's a... I like that. That's such a stupid thing. What if we wrote this document in F? Or Fortran?
Gross.
I'll admit, when I first looked at it, I was like, I know what C is, and I know that A and B exist, but there's no way there's F.
Is there any letters missing?
Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F. Only one for G. J, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. There's nothing for U. And nothing for W. Or Z.
Fuck you then.
I can take it.
Okay, so for the occult users, the
Like, curses, hexes, debuffs,
yeah,
control of others.
yeah.
I'm not
so, like,
saying
maybe-
you can straight up make moves, but like putting someone to sleep is an occult thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Making someone go berserk or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
Yeah,
more
that's
for
fair
the
enough. Like
physicality one, like telekinesis.
Kind of comes under telekinesis, though. Sorry,
But comes under
physicality. Doesn't it?
physicality, yeah. But I like the idea that corporeal magic is also what a sword and board warrior learns. Like it's not just about knowing the physical realities of stuff. It's about being physical yourself. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like exerting your influence physically. Like these two are about using the world to do stuff, and these two are about exerting your influence physically and socially, almost.
It's like we could even maybe say that like every skill branch, right, or tree has got like a root start, right?
Mhm.
Sage would be savvy, Tempest would be savvy, Occult would be savvy, Corporeal might be might. Like maybe like
an occult
might
person
character.
might be a deft and savvy person because it's about being kind of sneaky, right? Corporeal might be might and savvy. Tempest might be might and deft, might and there are 4 combinations there. They do map nicely.
Yeah, that works it really well.
Like,
Yeah,
healing is
change
kind of
control of others to influence. That's a good idea.
influence, yeah. It's like, I mean, these can all be boiled down nicer. Lightning magic isn't good. Like healing magic or shamanry,
Zappomancy.
zapomancy. Corporeal could have intimidation. Yeah, potentially. Like a big yell or something might be corporeal, but the way we've written it, it might also be occult. It might also be Tempest, like thunder. I like these. I like that there's dualities and opposites, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's dope. What other life skills can we do?
Cooking.
Cooking is an obvious one, yeah. Culinarian.
Culinarian. Fuck it, I'll write culinarian. I'm not above it. Cuisiner.
Foodologist.
Foodologist.
Maybe like a clothier or something. Like a person that makes like light armor and stuff.
Or robes. And... yeah, maybe. Well, then, do we maybe simplify smith to just be you make armor and weapons?
Yeah.
And clothier makes robes and clothes.
Yep.
Yeah. Put that up here. So, nice. Get rid of weaponsmith, armorer. We're making a setting where there are mysteries. Right, we've got a lost civilization at the moment.
Yeah.
What if scholar was a skill?
What does it
And
do?
it was the ability to extract. So it's your identifier, and it's a skill that's used to gain access to like little lore dumps. So like the big strong party can make it to the bottom of the dungeon, but they can't understand the tablet at the bottom.
Yeah. How do you level up though?
Identifying gear for people. Like it's your scholar. Identify. Like I do like the identifying system, that Diablo and stuff have. And you can also identify tomes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like an identified tome might not do anything different, but it might be worth more.
We could do something like we could set up like a scholars guild, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't like actually enforce the mechanic. So like if you want a piece of gear identified and you kind of do it yourself and no one you know has a high enough level in scholar to do it, you would go to a scholar guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you would find another player at the scholar guild who's got a high enough level to do it. But then there isn't like a gamified transaction here. You just like send them the piece in some money, or like you send them the piece and then they identify it and then you send them money and they get it back, giving the scholar the opportunity to identify it, go fuck this and just run away with it.
I love it. Systemically it would be toxic as shit.
Would it? Like
I mean,
if there was like a scholars guild blacklist where if you did that you would never ever get paid to do it ever again.
could be. Maybe.
That's
it would have to
very
be,
cool.
It would have to be a hell of a thing for you to do it. You spelled artificer wrong. Unless you're talking about an artificer, like someone who makes artifice, someone who makes fake stuff. Sort of, yeah, identifying gear, but also other stuff, right? It's a stat that scales into other things.
Yeah.
I like the idea of player-run guilds for all these things. And I like the idea of setting them up with the basic tools to do their job and then drip-feeding them new stuff directly to the members of the guild.
I like that like AK does like politics and stuff where like the game sets up all the structures and the hierarchies and players fill them.
Yeah. I have to have a
So,
player
like-
base is the problem with some of these.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Can like a lot of these systems are like gonna require like a couple of hundred people, and like realistically, it'll be 5 to 10 max most of the time, if that.
Yeah, but you never know, it might take off.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Fuck it, let's assume it will.
Designed for the game you want to make.
Yeah. Every month, like all the guilds vote on their new leader.
Yeah. Carpenter, smith, clothier. I'm taking out jeweler.
Okay.
That's just an arcanist.
Yeah.
Like an arcanist does relics. Is that
Like
just
they
a
can
scholar?
make
Shit.
relics.
Yeah, they can make new relics. So it's enchanting, basically. But also
What if
maybe
what if
making
an
jewelry.
arcanist? What if an arcanist, right, isn't like an applied scientist, right? If an arcanist is somebody that like can channel forces they possibly don't understand, so like an arcanist a level 100 can create like a really powerful piece of equipment, right, using like faith or like channeling some weird power, but when it actually gets made, it's unidentified to them, and they have to take it to a scholar.
What if there is a chance for some traits of the object to be unidentified?
I mean, that's kind of how it would have to be,
Yeah,
right? Because like if
yeah.
an arcanist makes a sword and then channels abilities into it, like it's just a sword until you get it scholared.
What if it's a skill that, as it increases, you are more able to pick what you want?
Mm-hmm.
So that when you're starting out as an arcanist, you're making a lot of +1 to scholar forks or whatever,
What if
like Minecraft.
it takes a long time to get a skill tree to 100, right?
Mhm.
But the actual cap is unlimited.
Maybe.
And like at a certain point, like it becomes like future technology in Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. Like it's very small increases to the things that you do, but like for stuff like Arcanist, it gives you more control. So like a level 100 Arcanist could make a really good item. A level 200 could do it on purpose.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
Like that's already in a game as well. I've totally forgot what it was though. It's like some really old like 2D MMORPG where there was like a door that could only be unlocked by like a level 1000 person.
It's the
And, like,
Adventure Quest, right?
I don't think it is, no.
Is it not? I remember the story. It's a Patrick Klepek story, right?
I think it is, yeah. It's Tibia.
Is it Tibia? Fuck you,
Yeah.
Vice. I'm still going to type waypoint.zone.
Does it still do it? It does.
Still redirects, yeah. It's Austin that owns the redirect. There is no search on Vice. I like this website so much. It's not spelled like this, is it? There we go.
I like how the player that got through the door
Held the secret,
didn't tell
right?
anyone if it's on the other side.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We should probably stream this game at some point. It looks right grognardy.
I'll leave that to you. We need to figure out Caves of Code first. It does look very grognardy, though.
It looks like Ultima, but like maybe a bit more playable.
Yeah, taking Ultima and putting it on this grid makes it make a bit more sense.
I really like some of the effects as well.
Sorry, audience, but we're not listening to the Pumpkin Hill rap from Sonic Adventure. Not there today. There we go. Right. 213 hours last month. That's not good, man.
Bruh.
I mean, I guess if you've got friends in it, sure.
That's still like almost a full-time job playing like a free-to-play MMO.
That is
Damn son.
more hours than I work in a week. In a month, rather.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Random effect level. And obviously that also would scale with how powerful the effect is. Like an Arcanist
Yep.
at level 1 can make a scroll of fireball or whatever.
Yep.
Pretty consistently. Maybe sometimes it's a slightly better scroll of fireball.
Yeah.
I know in did you do the crafting in Final Fantasy XIV?
Yes, I leveled Culinarian to cap, I think.
Yeah, the way that system works is interesting. Where you're improving quality of the thing.
Yeah. I actually didn't like the crafting in that game because it incentivizes just going buying shitloads of ingredients and then
just
building
sitting
stuff
there
for no
just
reason.
doing it. Yeah.
Like I like the idea that like all these like schools could be like used to actually do the content.
I like the mechanic. I don't love the way it unfolds.
Yeah. Thing.
Alchemist.
Makes like
Culinary.
potions and like pulses and shit like that.
Yeah, how do we encourage... How do we encourage people to use alchemist stuff if the sage tree exists? Is your alchemist just making your basic potions or just like popping up?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have shrines that can only be opened when presented with a bottle of black ichor?
I mean, like a lot of your questing is going to be done like solo, right? Maybe
Probably.
it takes ages to like level sage, but like buying potions from someone or making them on your own is like a much more immediate effect.
Yeah.
It like gives you the choice, right? Whether you want to.
I like it when food gives you buffs.
Yeah.
And I like it when they last a while. Not just a XP boost, although also an XP boost. I work better when I am.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, Marshall.
Okay. So
Let's put the Lord of the Rings classes in here. The fucking classic D&D ones. But we don't want traditional classes, do we?
no.
Does Marshall just turn into pole arms, swords?
Yep, I think so. It's going to be like an Elder Scrolls style system. So like blades, pole arms, bows.
Shields? I can think of lots of skills for a shield class. Potentially.
Well, we call it block.
Just some tea or something like that.
No.
The idea being that it maybe also includes parries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call it defense.
Defense, yeah. Pole arms, blades, bows, defense.
Oh, come on, just this time.
That pole arms covers your axes and your spears.
Yeah.
Blades covers your swords and big
Should
swords.
axes and spears be separate trees?
I was gonna suggest hammers, which gives us 3, or not hammers, like maces and stuff.
Like blunt weapons.
Yeah, but blunt's not a fun word. Yeah. I don't feel like a hatchet is a particularly, like... In a lot of games, an axe is not different from a sword. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can think in actual hunting horns. Don't spoil it. Yes, maybe. Battle Bard.
Oh, come on, just some coffee together.
Yeah, I guess like a sledgehammer is its own distinct thing though, right?
Oh, please.
Mhm.
Maul,
Just this once
mace,
for me.
Morningstar, flail. But like a halberd, a spear, a poleaxe are kind of the same thing as a double-handed axe, right?
I guess they are, yeah.
Yeah. Good thing is we don't have to graphically represent most of this.
Yeah.
Maybe some icons here and there, or skills, but that's about it. Bows?
Crossbows as
How
well.
about ranged, so we can have slings?
Yep, ranged is good.
So polearm skills are sort of about keeping people away from you in our combat system. Thank you, Lee. I don't know what that did. If it played anything, I didn't hear it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Full arms, blades, blunt, range, defense. What?
Fuck you, Rob.
Oh, now it played. Right. Thanks, Lee. You there, Teddy?
Yep, still here.
I like the idea that a pugilist and someone who wields a dagger are the same skill tree. They're like brawling. Is that where we put our rogue dagger nonsense?
I think so. Yeah, it's
Is
a pretty good way.
There's a dirty fighter, a brawler, a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty fighter.
Dirty fighter.
Yeah. What other ways of fighting are there? Brawler is the actual answer because that's where you put your martial arts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Disarming strike or whatever.
I honestly think that covers it. Like, with these three categories and these, like, sort of 10, 15 doodads, like, there are thousands of things you could do.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 14. Oh, hang on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17. 17's a bad number.
Hmm.
One more. In one of these things. Probably a crafting skill, right? We've missed something
Yeah.
here.
We're gonna need, like, gathering skills. Like, does being, like, a good smith make you a good miner? Probably not.
Oh, I hate gathering skills, though. They aren't satisfying.
They need to be done, though, to get the materials for the stuff.
Do we not just tie that to the skill that uses them?
Nah, because it doesn't make sense. Like, you could theoretically grind smith to max level just by mining.
We make a laborer crafting skill that is then sub-skills that give bonuses to gathering for different things. Like, under laborer, you would have a skill called lumberjack.
Yeah, this is a show.
And leveling lumberjack makes you better at lumberjacking.
Yep.
So what skills go under laborer? Lumberjack, miner,
Gatherer.
gatherer for like herbs and stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Fisher.
Hunter? Change Fisher to hunter, maybe?
I guess, yeah.
I'll put them separately just now. Lumberjack.
I think
mine.
this actually should be like just a flat skill that just goes up anytime you do gathering. It's like, it's kind of like, not really congruent, but like, mining a lot would make you a better lumberjack and shit. And like, we'll just make it go up really slowly.
Is it
Yeah, they should be two separate skills, right?
might, savvy, deafness?
Yeah.
So it's a multiplier of laborer multiplied by might for these skills.
Yeah. What else can we put under plant gathering?
I mean, what is the intelligence gathering for? Or what is the gathering for? Clothier, probably plants. It's like hemp and stuff, right?
Yeah. Alchemy, culinarian. We could have farming system.
Looter? Does being savvy make you better at looting?
Nah, I wouldn't think so. I do like farming because like we're gonna have like a homesteading system, right? So growing your own
Eventually,
food.
yeah. But But is farming not to disrespect farmers? I would never. Is that not more of a might thing?
Potentially not, because like there's a lot of science behind like planting. We should call it like growing or something.
Gardening.
Gardening, yeah.
Gardening. Farming. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And growing doesn't quite cover it.
Okay, that's a fair set of skills, I think. We'll get this into like a Google Doc or something and do like a nice table with descriptions and shit.
I'm gonna square bracket these, because they're not their own in they're aspects of these skills.
Pick up the wallet and slipped outside. I walked around and walked around and walked around town. I found my nerve in a good place to hide.
Cool.
Only to find no cash inside. Oh well, I guess that's just the way that it is. Don't bother now.
Maybe just hey, a little list of some miscellaneous mechanics.
Yeah, so
to get them written down.
Get zoomed in. Separate combat screen, skills that can be used inside and out of combat. You can learn everything but can access pan. Boons or traits. I like this boons or traits system a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I like what you said about flavor text as well. Like maybe you open up your boons screen and it's a list of things written with the flavor text, and then you hover over them and it's like plus 5% freeze chance or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so under guilds, like we're gonna have guilds that are like aligned with certain skills and shit, and then we're also gonna have guilds that are player run.
Adventurers guilds. What if we give them different names?
Yeah, so like we can have like occupational guilds, and we can have like adventurer guilds.
What? No. PCP? No. I've got something on the mind there.
Yeah, maybe there's like a PvP guild where you can like go and fight other teams of players.
Yeah. Like, do you... Like, that's a pretty good way to make there always be consistent PvP, is to just have two factions. Like, two overarching factions.
It splits your player base, though.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm not sure if we can afford to do it.
Probably not. Have it be more freeform. Like, oh, we made a little bandit company. We're going to be bandits for a bit.
Yeah. Are we allowing open PvP?
I think it's cool. I think we make it costly to engage someone in PvP dishonorably. Like, you know how we talked about sacrificing points to be able to do it?
Mm-hmm.
The mug skill uses 2 memory points that could be used for combat skills.
If like, we allow it, right, but we make it brutally costly.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Because like when I cut it, and I mean like brutally costly, and they just feel like the perspective of your stats, but like through the perspective to like access to game systems, like because no one dies really in this world, right? Like if your player dies, he just respawns, right? Like if we like mechanically justify that somehow, like if you died and then came back and told somebody that fucking Rob like horribly stabbed me on the road to blah blah blah, like that person's no longer gonna get into towns or anything.
Brand them as a bandit for 24 hours if they do it. Something like that.
Maybe even a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this idea.
It increases each time you do it.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, it's
eventually
like-
you are forced to become a career criminal.
yeah.
It's like the school to prison pipeline. That's grim.
That's real grim, yeah. Yeah, a couple of other like mechanics I want to hate that are based out of towns are like obviously banks. So banks will store your money, but will also store your items.
Yeah, I want a limited inventory,
Yeah.
but I don't know how we gate it. Is it slots or is it weight?
Probably weight.
Was it Ultima that limited how much money you could carry on your person?
Mm-hmm. We should make money like nay take up space in the inventory.
Money has no. Maybe sacks of gold, quote unquote, have weight when you're looting things, right? But you take
Yeah.
them to a bank and get them checked.
Yeah, and they turn into actual money that you can access.
What if all loot is unidentified until you take it to a bank to evaluate it?
That's kind of what the Arcanist does, though, is it not?
They'll. So it's. Well, it's what the scholar does.
Yes.
But like, not just magical stuff. Like, you get a sack of loot, and you take it to the bank, and they say, "Okay, well, this is what this has got in it."
So it's kind of like a loot crate system, but you'd have to pay for the loot crates.
And it encourages people to go back to towns to get their loot.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Makes sure that people are in the towns, even if they're just popping in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing about guilds, is you have to give people a reason to be there, or they'll look empty and no one will join.
Yeah.
Maybe make people's default login location be their guild hall.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So can you only be a member of one guild?
Yes, you can only be a member of one player guild, one occupational guild.
Can people leave a guild and come back to it and retain rank? I guess we're doing mostly player voted stuff, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. but-
No, I think if you leave a guild, you lose your rank, right?
Yeah. I mean,
If
is
you
the
leave a
rank
guild, like-
is the rank a systemic thing, or is it just a flag we slap on people to say you're the sub-chairman of the Culinarian Guild?
It's probably a systemic thing, right? Because, like, player guilds are gonna need, like, management and stuff, like, financially and, like...
Being a member of the guild gives you a buff to the stat, maybe?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
But not being in a guild allows you to sell without paying a markup.
Yep.
Don't get me started on economies. It's my least favorite shit.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this will all just fall into place itself and we don't have to do much thinking about it, except tweaking numbers.
Sorry, there's plenty of Greek politicians to become our in-house economists, and then tank the
Indeed.
country. I guess he didn't tank the country personally. Sounds like he didn't do a great job.
We should also hit post offices,
Stuff.
so you can communicate with players when they're offline.
Is a player-driven mail service just not fun?
Yeah, I think that's probably maybe a step too far.
It's a
Like,
fun
for players who
idea,
can
but, yeah.
deliver the letters.
But it pays, maybe.
Like, imagine having attracted a player in the world, you have no idea where they are, and the letter's just calling them a cuck or something. Like, you spend hours doing it.
It's taken me 6 weeks.
I've crossed the map. What does it say? Cuck.
My job here is done. Player logs off and never logs back in again. I wonder if anything has ever done a player-based mail system.
Probably not.
I could see one of the big politics-based MMOs doing it. The games where it's like, oh, you raise your rank and become such and such a person.
Postman.
Well, we start as a postman, right? What if an MMO was actually a clicker? You start as a shit shoveler, and then you shovel a lot of shit, and you become a postman.
If we just made Cookie Clicker. If I just wrote a bunch of libraries for handling
Teddy,
huge numbers.
is that you've done most of the work to make a clicker.
Oh god.
You've done the network stack for a clicker.
Oh, you're right, I have as well. We're not making a clicker, fuck that noise.
Scotty clicker.
You just click on Scotty's face.
Yeah.
And like, later on you can like buy Lees to click on Scotty's face for you. And then like, you can buy a Rob to like manage teams of Lees to like more efficiently click Scotty's. Oh, and then you can like buy Liams to manage your teams of Rob, who manage your teams of Lees. You click on Scotty's,
yeah.
and like every so often, like your Robs get bored and like wander off and go work on something else, and then you have to click the Liam to click the Rob to get back in place.
Yeah.
And then the Scotties start flowing.
That sounds like this works.
I think we're going to be millionaires, mate.
And every single time Scotty gets clicked, he goes, dinner!
Dinner. Oh god, it's perfect.
The good
Game
April
design.
The good April Fool's joke. Just take the game server down and replace it with that.
A good April Fool's joke would be like, once we've got the game and a couple of hundred players, we just delete it and then ghost and never turn it back on.
Yeah.
Fuck you! Okay, right, that's a bunch of stuff.
An actual good April Fool's would be just the command prompt just returns no for every input. North, no.
Or like, we flip the connection IDs so it's random and you end up fucking up somebody else's character.
And then we revert back to the previous database.
No, we don't. We do not revert. We don't revert back. Everybody just swaps characters at random now.
That would be the player equivalent of a rapture, because everyone would leave.
Be fucking pretty dope though, wouldn't it?
Good.
Like, that's the main mechanic of the game. Like, every 7 days, like, people just swap characters. You have to pick up the pieces of someone else.
We'll get it out on the table here. The setup is that people are just showing up in this world as a frequent thing. Like, 100 years ago, 200... I've been leaning towards 200 years as, like, a good limit of, like, just beyond natural human memory. For, like, your grandfather wasn't around 200 years ago, right?
Yeah. And
your grandfather's knowledge only just reaches back 200 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things that your grandfather's dad told him is kind of where I want the start of this world to be.
Yeah.
There were no people in the world that the game takes place in at that point. There had been previously, and there's cultures and there's things that aren't people in the traditional sense out there. And who knows, maybe there are people out there somewhere else, but where the players start, there's no one. And people just started showing up.
Like, confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
I like this.
I don't want to be Amnesia, but like, just there was never anything there. They're just new people. They just exist.
Yeah. How do they get skills to like build a culture in 200 years?
By learning from what's already there, from building on the ruins.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Yes, so that means like cities and towns are going to be like culturally clashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, this image I sent you is cool as shit. Like, what if this is a player town? Okay.
Yeah, that's dope.
Also going to use this
Yeah,
in capstone.
really
Because
dope.
this image is just the best. I don't even know
So
how this
actually
happens.
it's not actually a place on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Ooh. It's like something you would go through as Nathan Drake.
And don't sully the image.
Sully is also a character to it.
Hey! Unintentional.
Yeah, I
Wow.
like this idea. We should actually have like a long talk just to be like world building and stuff.
No, maybe do that next week.
Yeah.
We'll
Maybe
run
do it
through.
tonight, this week.
Yeah, sure.
We should do world building off camera, right?
Yeah, sure. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, I think we'll wrap for the stream for tonight. But I think that's a pretty good look at our process for where we're going with it and the current status of the project. Next week we'll have rooms, almost probably, certainly.
I'm hoping next week we'll have rooms in basic item support.
Yeah.
Maybe even some really basic NPC stuff.
God damn.
Like, I'm hoping to get the security stuff for the builder done tonight or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the basics of the room shit in then as well. And then that gives me, like, basically an entire week. I haven't got the weekend, obviously,
Yeah.
but got next week as well, so.
Get the server running. Start
Yep.
putting stuff into it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm gonna set up a process as well for daily backups, so if I have to revert something, like, we don't lose too much. I might also create, like, a little thing that lets you just export it. Something catastrophic, you don't lose any work.
That's an extremely good idea.
Yeah,
We should be backing up the backups of the backups.
definitely.
Maybe put,
Right,
a
so
button, put a button in the builder that exports everything for
I'll
that
see on my
area or something.
backups to the database, like, for the first couple of months are going to be like kilobytes. So.
Yeah, it'll be tiny.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. Good night.
How doing?